on KEA Kids News. Gnome in space.
For each person who watches the launch, we're going to donate $1 to the hospital.
How a video game character is helping Kiwi kids.
What were you like as an 8-year-old, Gabe?
I was a nerd when I was 8 years old.
And luring kids back into books.
Play a bit of video games, read a bit of book, play a bit of video games, read a bit. That's my ideal weekend.
How 2 Kiwi authors are trying to reignite the passion for reading.
What do you think makes a good book? The vocabulary and the description.
Kia ora, this is Johann Jomy reporting for KEA Kids News. In the news, a very unusual astronaut has just gone to space. A garden gnome. Today, we talk to the man responsible. He's a video game maker from America called Gabe Newell. Gabe Newell has lived in New Zealand this year. He's famous for creating a video game called Half-Life, and this guy is one of its characters. He's Gnome Chompski. Gabe got a 3D printer to make a Gnome Chompski statue, and that statue went into space on the latest Rocket Lab launch. Every person who watched the launch on YouTube, Gabe said he'd donate $1 to Starship Children's Hospital. Hello, Gabe. Welcome to KEA Kids News.
Thanks for having me.
This is an amazing story. Can you tell us about the gnome?
So the gnome is named Gnome Chompski after a famous scientist. He's a gnome that showed up in a bunch of our games, in the Half-Life games and the Left 4 Dead games. And there's a secret mission that you use where you actually, in the game, launch Gnome Chompski into space.
Is Gnome Chompski going into space for fun or for something more?
First of all, it's a lot of fun. Anytime you get to launch a gnome into space with your friends, that's going to be fun. It also helps the people at Rocket Lab, the New Zealand company that's launching the gnome, perfect some techniques needed for 3D printing of titanium. So they'll be able to use this in future launches. And it's also paying back for all the kindness we've received during the pandemic.
And New Zealand's own Weta workshop helped too. What did they do?
They helped us design the model. So they did all of the 3D work and developed the gnome itself that's being launched.
And what's going to happen to Gnome Chompski at the end of the space mission?
Gnome Chompski is going to re-enter the atmosphere and probably burn up along with the other pieces of the launch vehicle.
No, poor Gnome Chompski.
Yes, he's definitely going to feel gnome alone.
Why did you want to raise money for the Starship Children's Hospital?
When we do things that are for fun, like we go racing here in New Zealand, we like to raise money so that it's not, just about us, having a good time. We want it to have a purpose. So if we're working with the Starship Foundation to raise money for their intensive care unit.
How will the rocket launch earn money for Starship?
So we're hoping to get 100,000 people to watch the launch. And for each person who watches the launch, we're going to donate $1 to the hospital. So the more people who watch, the more money the hospital makes.
Wow. What happens if millions of people watch it? Can you pay?
Absolutely. I mean, the more people who watch, the better the hospital's going to do. So we're happy to help the hospital.
So you make video games. Do you have any ideas for any new video games?
We absolutely are going to be coming with new video games, just not something that we can talk about yet.
What were you like as an 8-year-old, Gabe?
I was a nerd when I was 8 years old. I liked, anything sort of sciencey.
Thanks so much, Gabe, and thanks for supporting Starship Children's Hospital with Gnome Chompski.
Thanks for having me.
Gabe raised $286,000 for Starship. This is Johann Jomy signing out for KEA Kids News.